Hey guys, David here. Welcome to Digital Outlook. In today's video, we're going to talk about the granddaddy of crypto, Bitcoin. And guys, what we have to share, you're going to want to hear. But before we do, if you'd hit that like and subscribe and tell your friends and family so we can get this information out to as many people as possible, that would be fantastic. So guys, without further ado, why don't we get to it? Well guys, the wind is kicking up a bit of a fuss here, so I will try to keep the audio as clear as I can for this video. But guys, what I wanted to talk to you about is this White House report that has just come out regarding proof of work. Now, I am sure most of you, if your ear is to the ground, have already heard all the chatter about what's going on with this report. Guys, this is an absolutely massive deal for all of crypto, but especially any proof of work system. So guys, a report has come out and I'm going to drop a link into the comments down there where you can read the entire report. And this report is about the energy consumption and the massive scalability problems going forward with proof of work systems. Now, of course, guys, we know that Bitcoin is the biggest and most prominent proof of work system out there. Now, there are others, but Bitcoin for sure is the biggest. And because Bitcoin is also the market leader in this space, this is going to have impacts throughout the crypto space. Guys, what they're proposing is either an outright ban on proof of work, or that proof of work is going to somehow convert itself into the most clean and efficient energy uses for their validation that they possibly can. Now, guys, we know that the reason for this is due to the scalability issues with proof of work systems. So what really happens here, guys, is as the system grows, it requires greater and greater amounts of energy. Just think about it from the early days. Well, in the early days, you could actually mine Bitcoin, off your computer. I knew guys that have told me they mined it off of their PlayStations and whatnot, the original ones. Anyway, needless to say, you could actually mine it without going through huge consumptions of power usage. But as the hash rate increased and as we've gone through a couple of halvings and, on and on, you have literally Bitcoin farms that are fields and fields of computing power being just sucking off the system. Now, guys, I am not one of these people that is going to come back and say, oh, well, Bitcoin, it's this and all this and that about all the negativity about proof of work. But the fact of the matter is, guys, the issues with the scalability as the network gets greater and greater literally have exponential uses of power. And it will get to the point where it's almost unfeasible for Bitcoin to continue to work under a proof of work system. Now, this report highlighted both Bitcoin and Ethereum. But of course, we know Ethereum is just merging over to Ethereum 2.0 and a proof of stake type of network. Now, proof of stakes also use power consumption, but it's significantly less. I mean, dramatically less. And guys, this is going to be a hot topic and a big deal. And I think this is the way in which they are going to kind of squeeze the whole Bitcoin thing. They're not going to ban Bitcoin, guys. I don't really believe that at all. But what I do think they're going to do, they're going to tax the living daylights out of it and the use of power consumption, especially right now when we're going through massive energy crises around the world. People's utility bills are just skyrocketing. And the last thing they want to see is Bitcoin mining facilities getting discounts on their power while their bills are going up the roof. And so this is a big political beach ball, you know what I mean. And guys, it is going to affect the whole space because in the event that any bills become law with respect to legislating how proof of work actually is going to go forward or if it's going to exist at all, then I'm telling you guys, this is something that's going to reverberate through the whole community. Now, having said that, guys, we know when we're dealing with cryptos like Algorand, like Cardano, of course, XRP, XLM, XDC, all these other consensus protocols, Hedera Hashgraph, and on and on. These guys are beating the curve when it comes to this thing because they've already been way out in front, and especially Algorand. I mean, those guys are absolutely committed to being the greenest blockchain system in the entire space. And so, guys, it is really, really something that we want to pay attention to going forward with respect to this space. And I do believe that eventually proof of work is going to be done. They are not going to let it continue, guys. No way. Not with the agendas that these politicians have with all this green energy and all that kind of stuff. And believe this, guys. They are some big players invested in this proof of stake space, and especially in this merge with Ethereum. And who's the biggest competitor to Ethereum right now? Mostly it is Bitcoin. Now, that is not because of the network, because Bitcoin is not like Ethereum, being that Ethereum, you can build so much on it and dApps and everything else. But guys, a competitor in terms of market share. Bitcoin has the lion's share of the market and literally is the market mover in this space. That's why I think initially this could affect the whole market. Bitcoin is the one, when Bitcoin moves up just a little bit, goes up a few percent, altcoins go up double digits, 10%. Bitcoin drops 3-4%, altcoins drop 10-15%. It just seems to be the way it is. Now, there will one day, I believe, be a decoupling from that, but it's not yet. Now, maybe this is going to lead to it. But guys, that they are coming right out. Don't kid yourself. They knew what the reverberations would be releasing this report. And it is literally I've seen it splattered all over Twitter and Reddit and all these other places. And of course, you're going to see other guys doing videos on it like I'm doing. And it is going to be a big deal. And for us guys, I think, for me anyway, look, I looked at the ROI potential with my portfolio and as a holder of Bitcoin at one time, and I realized right then and there, I looked at all the return on investment potential for me in a lot of these altcoin projects, and I actually moved out of my Bitcoin positions and transitioned those into these various altcoin positions. And guys, it was probably one of the best decisions that I made during that last bull market because I multiplied my percentage gains at least tenfold. Now, that does not mean that I think that Bitcoin is a bad investment. In fact, Bitcoin has proven itself to be one of the best investments that you could have ever made within the last 10 years. So, hey, give them credit where credit is due. That's what I believe. And Bitcoin has certainly paved the way for a lot of this space. And we owe a great debt to those guys who started Bitcoin and started this whole crypto revolution, as far as I would call it. But guys, like anything, you're going to see technology improve, and all these old ways of validating these various transactions are going to pass away. And eventually, one day, guys, perhaps even proof of stake will go into something else. And so I think it's imperative of us, in fact, even almost incumbent upon us as members of this space, to not just poo-poo Bitcoin and jump all over it, but guys, to really look at the type of legislation that's being proposed and consider, is this something that we want to have coming down on this whole space? Because like I say, if it affects Bitcoin, it's going to affect the whole space. Now, eventually, yes, we are going to move away from proof of work. I believe that wholeheartedly, 100%. But guys, it's how we do it. Do we do it like snap? One big, like they say, cold turkey kind of way of quitting it? Or do we do it in stages and that type of thing? And that's where I think, guys, a lot of times you hear these news articles going out and also these public announcements going out at a time when we're the most vulnerable. And it sounds like it could be the implementation of a lot of FUD. Hey, we're going to say this and do this. We recommend this and do this and do this. And none of those things actually end up happening, or at least not in the short term, in the near term. And so that's where, guys, we have to have our wits about us and not be panicking based on various news media pronouncements or even government announcements. Look, how many times has China said that they were going to ban Bitcoin? Never happened. And how many times have we seen India bounce back and forth on whether they're going to allow Bitcoin? And Russia allowing Bitcoin. And here we have this U.S. proposal coming out of the White House. Guys, it takes a lot more than a proposal before something gets implemented, as we know, in government especially. So my thinking is, guys, we need to be aware, absolutely. But we don't necessarily react to this kind of news. We actually digest it. We become advocates for ourselves in this space. This is when you get a hold of your senator. This is when you get a hold of your congressman. You let them know what you think and feel about these issues, guys. And you want to have a hand in the way in which this legislation is crafted, if it's ever crafted at all. And we definitely want it to be in a way that benefits us as a community. And that's where we need to have people who are lobbying for this community and advocating for this community. And not just this, attacking, like people getting on Cardano and getting on, and those guys getting on Ethereum and those guys over there getting on Bitcoin and on and on. Guys, we need to be a more collective and robust community supporting most of these networks all the way through. Now, guys, I think, too, one thing I wanted to mention here is, wasn't it just recently a couple of senators proposed a bill that is going to go before the House with respect to crypto regulation and legislation? And the two that were actually going to get through the door were Bitcoin and Ethereum. And doesn't it seem kind of crazy that right now Bitcoin is out there getting all of this flack? And guys, don't tell me they didn't know what was on the hindworks here going on. So anyway, guys, I wanted to throw this out there. I'm especially going to put that link to that article down there so that you can read it for yourself and get the full picture if you haven't heard enough already. But if there's something I left out that you think should be mentioned, you drop that down in the comments there. And guys, if there's something I said that you disagree with, feel free. Drop that down in there too, and we can have a discussion. So guys, before you go, just take a quick peek at one of my favorite spots to record. Now, if you've been watching my channel for a while, then you've probably seen this little view in the past. It's one of my favorites, and I was away for a while, so it's great to come home. Well, guys, as you know, I'm not a financial advisor, and this isn't financial advice. But if you found value in it, if you'd hit that like and subscribe, I'd appreciate it. And guys, don't forget to hit that notification bell down there so that you don't miss out on any of the videos that we're uploading. And guys, if you're one of the thousands of people who have been watching these videos but haven't yet subscribed, would you do this channel a favor and join this community? We would really love to have you on board. So, in the meantime, and in between time, stay safe, be blessed, and I'll catch you in the next one.